I want you to tell me the last time that you felt fully okay. And I don't mean okay as in like just surviving, not okay as in I got through the day and nobody cried, including me. I mean like actually okay. Okay as in you're actually living your life and not just white knuckling your way through it. Because there was a point in time where for me, I genuinely could not remember that. There's no particular time in my head that stood out where I just felt okay as in just living my life. And at that point, I realized that there was something very, very wrong. Literally 24/7, I felt like I was constantly just bracing myself. Like my nervous system had taken this full-time job of just protecting myself constantly. And it was just sitting there waiting for the next thing to go wrong. But from the outside, I looked totally fine. I was showing up. I was doing my productive things, I was working out, literally like doing all the things. But on the inside, I was literally running on empty. I felt completely numb to the things that used to excite me, and I was weirdly addicted to busyness. And this addiction came from believing that the second that I stopped being busy, that everything I was trying to outrun would literally bombard me. And that, my friend, is called survival mode. And if anything I just said made you go, wait, girl, same, then this is the video for you, because I'm going to tell you exactly what I did to get out of survival mode. Welcome back to your weekly girl check-in. If you're new here, I'm Michaela, and I help women break the cycles that have been keeping them stuck, build habits and routines that they can implement in their real life, and help them become the versions of themselves that they know that they are capable of. But now it is time for our weekly girl check-in. So grab a notebook, grab a pen, open your notes app, get a cozy beverage, because I'm about to tell you everything that you actually need to hear this week. This is where we cut through the noise, we get real, and I share with you everything that I have learned and experienced so that you don't have to waste your time figuring it all out the hard way. And in today's video, I'm gonna walk you through exactly what survival mode actually is. And then we're gonna talk about the 5 things that I did that genuinely pulled me out of it. This is the stuff that I actually did, and it's things that I did badly and had to try again. Because as you know, if you're not new here, we don't just do advice just for the sake of it. We are all about action. So make sure you stick until the end, because the last thing that I'm going to tell you about is the one that truly changed everything for me, and I feel like no one talks about this. So go ahead, click your pens, get your notes app ready, because we are diving in. So what exactly is survival mode really? So a moment where I really realized I was in survival mode is a while back. I was checking off my to-do list. I was going over it, making sure I did everything. Everything was checked. And instead of feeling accomplished and feeling proud of myself, I felt completely numb. I felt nothing. And I sat there thinking like, why does this feel so hollow? I put in all of this work and this effort to check these things off, but I feel nothing. I should have felt proud. I mean, I should have felt something. I felt this low grade flatness, and like all of my emotional color had been taken down from a 10 to like a 3, the emotional equivalent to elevator music. So I went looking for answers, and I fell down this rabbit hole about your nervous system and how stress does not only make you stressed, but it also rewires you. It literally completely changes the way that your brain and body operate. And your nervous system has 2 different modes. So you have your regulated state, and this is where you feel safe, you feel calm, you feel curious, you feel creative. You're able to actually enjoy things. You're present, and you truly feel like yourself. And then there is your activated state, and this is fight, flight, and freeze, which are all 3 of your body's survival modes, which is great if you're being chased by something, but not so great if you're just answering emails, you know? And that's the problem a lot of us face nowadays, is that modern life is just full of these activation triggers. Your phone, your relationships, your finances, your career, the news, the comparison spiral you went on a random night at 11 p.m. just because you went on your phone to check one thing. All of this tells your nervous system like, hey, something's wrong. but you need to keep going. And when you stay in this mode long enough, your nervous system doesn't know how to turn this off. So you just walk around in this like half emergency state. You're just trying to get through the things that you have to do every day. You're not feeling accomplished. You're not feeling present. And you're not feeling like you. This is not a character flaw. This is not a personality trait. And it's not you being dramatic. This is your body doing exactly what it was designed to do, which is to protect you. But the problem is that it doesn't know the difference between a deadline and a bear. So it treats both the same. So here's a few signs that you might actually be in survival mode. You're tired, but you feel like you can never actually rest. You scroll compulsively, but nothing satisfies. And when you put your phone down, you feel worse than you did when you picked it up. You cancel plans that you actually wanted to go to. You fantasize about a simpler life. And you feel guilty the second that you're not being productive. Any of that sound familiar? Yeah, me too. All right, so here are the 5 things that got me out of survival mode. The first thing is I stopped trying to rest and I learned to actually regulate my nervous system. I had to unlearn that the idea of rest means doing nothing, because I'd give myself a rest day, but I'd spend the entire day feeling guilty or anxious that I wasn't doing something productive. And then I would spend the whole day debating with myself like, oh, maybe I should just be productive, or maybe I should just go do this, instead of actually taking the day to rest, because I felt so guilty and was just waiting to get back into my routine so I'd stop feeling the guilt. That is not rest. What I actually needed was regulation. And regulation is not something that's passive. It's something that you have to actually do. For me personally, this is getting outside. It's getting my workout in the morning, pretty much having that time for myself to ground and to just do something for me before the world and my to-do list can get its hands on me every single day. But here's what I want you to hear is that you don't need a 3-hour morning routine. You don't need to go take an ice bath. You don't need to become a morning person overnight. You need 10 minutes. I would suggest outside, but it can just be to yourself in general before your day even starts. That is literally it, and that's where I would suggest to start before doing absolutely anything else. So tomorrow morning, whenever you wake up, before you pick up your phone, before you do anything, I want you to put your feet on the ground, ideally outside if you can. If not, it's okay. And just take 10 minutes to yourself. And this can be literally just freaking breathing. Do this for a week and I promise you, you will feel so much better because you're not waking up and immediately going into a stressful mode. You are waking up slowly and you're taking a minute to yourself. You're gathering yourself before your day can come at you. The second thing I did is I broke up with productive busyness. The one thing about survival mode that nobody wants to admit is that a lot of us are actually addicted to it. And it's not because we enjoy suffering, but it's because being busy makes you feel like you're in control. It keeps you distracted. You are always moving. You are always optimizing. You are always doing something. And it never gives you time to sit with the fact that something is missing. And I was literally the queen of this, okay? My schedule was full, my to-do list was packed, and I felt like I was on a hamster wheel doing all of the things but still not getting anywhere. But to me, I thought that that's just what a responsible adult looked like. Turns out it was just avoidance with a productive aesthetic. I was just prioritizing literally all the wrong things and then just calling it discipline. In the book You Are a Badass by Jen Sincero, which is one of my favorite books I've ever read, she says you have to get uncomfortable with your comfortable excuses. And busyness is one of the most socially acceptable excuses that there is. And this is mostly because nobody questions it. Like, no one pulls you aside and says, hey, are you okay? Or are you just like running from yourself? They're just like, wow, you are so busy. And then you're like, yeah, I know, I'm doing a lot, I know. And then you're both just like weirdly fine about it. It's basically like wearing a fake badge of honor. And we've all been wearing it. So here's what I want you to do this week. I want you to do one thing that has no purpose, something with zero productivity attached to it. And you're gonna start to feel guilt creep in, and that's what you need to notice. And then I really want you to ask yourself, why does doing nothing feel like I'm doing something wrong? And whatever answer comes up, that's what you need to be aware of. That's what you need to notice, and that's a big reason that you've been in survival mode. The next thing I did is I got radically honest about the things that were draining me. When I decided to audit my life and look at the things that were draining me, I looked at everything, okay? The commutes, the group chat that never stops, the coworkers you have to manage your energy around and you just don't want to deal with and they get on your nerves. The job, that's fine. It's not great. It's not the best. It's just fine. And then leaves you with literally nothing left in the tank by 5 p.m. The tiny irritations that feel too small to complain about, but they just add up. And by the end of the day, every single day, you are just completely drained. And the hardest part about all of that is that some of that you can't change, not immediately at least. So what do? You need to stop letting the things that you cannot change right now take more from you than they already are. If something in your life has a fixed cost, you protect everything around it. Your mornings, your recovery time, the small pockets of your day that are still yours. And you get ruthless about that because no one and nothing gets to drain those two. So what I want you to do is I want you to make a 2-column list. One side is going to be everything that gives you energy, and then the other side is going to be the things that take it. And the point of this is not to fix everything at once, but it's to put in front of you the things that are draining your energy so you're not so surprised for why you feel so tired. And the things that you can't change right now are not permanent. They just feel like they are permanent whenever you're constantly running on empty. But when you start protecting your energy, you will start to think and see things so much clearer. And when you can think clearer, you're gonna start seeing the doors that were always there, but you just never noticed. And that is how people get out of survival mode. That's what I did. You do it not in a huge dramatic leap, but you do it in these small decisions, and they eventually compound until you realize, holy crap, like you are building yourself a way out without even realizing it. The next thing I did is I stopped treating my phone like a coping mechanism. Listen, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you to go delete Instagram. I mean, I'm on Instagram. And also, the phone is not the root problem. The phone is what we reach for whenever we can't handle being with ourselves. When you are in survival mode, being with yourself just genuinely feels unsafe. So of course you scroll. It makes total sense, but it's just not gonna help. Because, and I'm sure you can vouch for this, every time you pick up your phone to just like cover a feeling, the second you put it down, it just comes back, and it comes back like 10 times worse than it was before you scrolled. What really helps with this is creating buffer zones. So these are moments in your day where you are not near your phone is not in hand. It is out of sight, it is out of mind, it is somewhere else in another room, not just face down on the counter like teasing you to pick it up. The first buffer zone should be 30 minutes after you wake up, and the second should be 30 minutes before you go to bed. Because those 2 points in your day is where you actually start to feel things and you start to think. You process things and you have your own thoughts instead of just consuming everyone else's. So this week, pick one of those buffer zones, just start with one, put your phone away, and fill that time with something that you genuinely enjoy, something that truly makes you happy, something that just feels good. This can be reading, it can be dancing, it can be stretching, going for a walk, literally whatever it is. And if you do this every day, you're going to see such a big difference. The last thing I did is I gave myself permission to start wanting things again. Survival mode does something very sneaky to you, and it makes you stop wanting things. And it's not because you don't care, but it's because wanting something just feels dangerous. Because if you want something and it fails or it doesn't work out, then it's just one more thing to feel bad about. So you stop wanting, you stop dreaming, and you stop making plans that excite you. And then you call it just being realistic, because it just feels like it's all for nothing anyway. And I am absolutely guilty of this. I used to be scared to want anything because in the back of my head, I knew that it wouldn't last or that there would be a catch to it. I would hear about an opportunity and I would think about all the reasons that it just wouldn't work. Or I would think about a goal and then I would immediately think about all the times that I'd failed before. And at the time, I thought I was being grounded, but it ends up I was just being scared. Another thing that Jen Sincero says in You Are a Badass is that fear and excitement have the almost identical sensation in your body. The only difference is the story that you put on top of the sensation. What really changed this for me was that I realized that every time I talked myself out of something, it's not because I didn't believe the thing was possible, but I believed that I was someone that it just wouldn't work out for. I guess somewhere along the way, I had decided that my track record of failures was just proof that I was just someone that things didn't work out for. I believed that good things just were not in the cards for me. And I carried that into everything I did. And now that I'm older and I'm reflecting on these things, I realize that that's a limiting belief that I picked up in my childhood. And then I just carried it with me into my adulthood. But the thing that cracked it open for me was this. It's that I deserved those things. Just because I've messed up before didn't disqualify me from having something good. The version of me that had failed and the version of me that was trying again were not the same person. And if I actually let myself want it, if I actually let myself work for it fully, it'll work out. So here's the action step I want you to take from this, is I want you to think about something you stopped letting yourself want because of something that you did before. And I want you to dig a little bit deeper and ask yourself, is the reason I stopped wanting about the actual thing? Or is it that I believe that I'm someone that this either could or could not work out for? Because those are two very different problems, but only one of them is yours to solve. Survival mode is not a life sentence, okay? It's a pattern, and patterns can change, but they change slowly. They change with small, consistent things, and not these massive overhauls that you do for 4 days. You burn out and end up stress eating on the couch at midnight, okay? Those are the 5 shifts that literally changed everything for me. Regulate your nervous system before you try to fix anything else. Protect the empty space in your day. Get honest about what the heck is actually draining you. Create phone buffer zones and allow yourself to actually want things again. And none of these are revolutionary. They are just true things done consistently by people who decided that they were done surviving. And I know that's exactly what you are becoming, because you deserve so much more than to just survive. I really hope this week's Girl Check-In really helped you. I know modern day is so fast-paced, so hustle, and it's easy to fall into that survival mode. And you don't have to be there. And if you are there, I hope that one of the 5 of these things, if not all 5 of these things, helped you in some way. And I hope that you implement something from this video to help you exit that survival mode, because like I said, it's so easy to fall into it, but you don't have to stay there. So if this video did help you out, please make sure to give it a thumbs up and subscribe below and comment which one resonated with you the most, because I'm so curious. I've spent my own time in survival mode and these have truly made a life-changing difference for me, so I hope that they do the same for you. I'll also make sure to leave that Google Voice number in the description box, so if you want to leave an inspiring message or you have a question, maybe it'll be featured in the next Girl Check-In. I'll leave that in the description box below, and I just want to say thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching, and I cannot wait to catch you in the next video. Bye!